anytime you are thinking about planning a church or starting a church, there's many things you've got to ask. You've got to ask some key questions. What are you going to believe? What is going to be your DNA? What are going to be the things that you're going to die on? What are the things that are going to shape the vision and the mission of a church? You got to ask those questions. And it was from those very beginning days that the Lord began to refine that. And those beginning days were wrought with many blessings and difficulties, just like any ministry. No matter you take an existing church or a church that's thriving or planning a church, there's always difficulty because you're dealing with sinners, right? You're dealing with people and you're dealing with expectations. You're dealing with all those kind of things. You have to work through all of that, whether you're in an established church or in a new church plant. You've got to get everybody in the same boat, going in the same direction without sinking that boat. And that is a very difficult task, no matter how you think about ministry, whether you're planning a church, whether you are in an established church, it takes time. So I would say around 2011 is when what God began to do, started then.
The Grace Bible Church long-term goals, 5 years, 10 years. What do you see for us in the future?
From a leadership standpoint, yeah, it is my desire to see elders raised up in the church because I can't shepherd everybody in the congregation. That's just a biblical truth, practical. Therefore, the desire is to see other faithful, godly men become elders as the Holy Spirit does that. And that's the ultimate desire, to see a plurality. And that's why, Robert, I'm excited about you being here and Tracy being here and Michael and Kim being a part of our church because they clearly see y'all's involvement. Everyone here sees your involvement. Y'all been here going on 2.5 years, and it's exciting to me to know that you guys are in the process of affirming what the Holy Spirit is already doing in your life. So the long-term goal is to see that continue, to see elders, a plurality of elders shepherding and loving this church. Because I think it's when we have a healthy leadership that the church is strong. It's healthy. Because the leadership is really the direction of the church. And we're not only talking about elders, we're talking about deacons. We're talking about faithful membership. All of those are necessary components. That's why over the past few weeks, we've done the membership sermon to sort of highlight the structure of the local church. So to answer your question, in 5 years, I want us to see, by God's grace, prayerfully, us adding to all of those areas, elders, deacons, and members. And that only comes through faithfulness on all of our parts. Pray, work, faithfully give of our time and our money and our efforts to see God's kingdom built, one soul at a time. So in 5 years, we want to see what God is doing here already, expanded. Strategically focused on our mission. The first M is ministers. Second M is ministries, and the third M is missions. It is in these 3 areas we will fulfill our mission as a church. If our mission is to preach the gospel to the lost and to see the lost saved and the saved matured to the glory of God, we must make sure as a church that we're faithfully supporting all 3 of those areas. If you don't have ministers, who's going to preach? Who's going to lead you? Who's going to equip you for the work of service, right? And that's the biblical structure. We have to have ministers. We've got to support those ministers in your church or in the church so that we can be equipped and shepherded and cared for spiritually. So that's the focus of our church, is to make sure that we have a biblical view of that. That's 1 Timothy 5:17. Having elders who are worthy of double honor, especially those that are working hard at preaching and teaching, so that we can live out Ephesians 4:11, 12, and 13. So that they can equip the saints, so they can shepherd you, so that you can do the second M, and that's ministry.